Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a cycle of knowing what you want to achieve, but never quite getting there? You promise yourself that tomorrow you'll start, that this time it will be different, but somehow the motivation slips away. It's frustrating, isn't it? The feeling that you're capable of more, yet something, whether it's distractions, doubt, or a lack of focus, always seems to hold you back. You're not alone in this struggle. Many people face the same challenges. But what separates those who break free from those who stay stuck is one thing: the ability to build discipline. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's not about punishing yourself or stripping the joy out of life. Quite the opposite. Discipline is the tool that brings clarity, focus, and freedom. It's what allows you to take control of your actions instead of letting them control you. It's what gives you the power to follow through on your commitments and turn your dreams into reality. Discipline isn't just a trait, it's a practice, one that can be built no matter where you're starting from. Most of us avoid discipline because it seems hard. The pull of comfort, the distractions of everyday life, and the fear of failing make it easy to procrastinate. But the truth is, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. Every day that you delay is another day that slips away. The good news: the moment you decide to take the first step, everything begins to change. Discipline isn't built in a single moment. It's a series of small, consistent decisions. Change starts with recognizing that you don't need to wait for the perfect conditions to begin. Life will never offer the ideal time or situation to build discipline, but it doesn't have to. What matters is starting with the tools and time you already have. Even the smallest step forward can lead to incredible progress when repeated over time. There's no need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just one action, done consistently, can make all the difference. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't rely on fleeting motivation. Motivation comes and goes, often vanishing when you need it most. Discipline, on the other hand, is steady and reliable. It's the quiet commitment to show up for yourself every single day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. That's the secret to building something lasting, not just starting strong, but staying strong through challenges, setbacks, and doubts. The ancient Stoics understood this well. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught that true strength comes not from external circumstances, but from mastering oneself. They believed that aligning your actions with your values, focusing on what you can control, and letting go of distractions are the keys to a meaningful life. Their wisdom is just as relevant today. In a world full of noise and temptations, their principles offer a clear path to clarity and purpose. When you start to cultivate discipline, you'll notice something incredible happening. The tasks that once felt overwhelming will become manageable. The goals that seemed out of reach will start to come closer. Confidence will grow because you'll know you can rely on yourself to follow through. Discipline doesn't just change your actions, it transforms the way you see yourself and what you believe you're capable of achieving. This is not to say the journey will be easy. There will be days when sticking to your commitments feels impossible. There will be moments of doubt, frustration, and temptation. But the beauty of discipline is that it doesn't require perfection. It asks only for persistence. Miss a step, take another. Feel stuck, keep moving. Discipline isn't about never falling, it's about always getting back up. Imagine what your life could look like if discipline became a part of who you are. The unfinished projects would no longer haunt you. The dreams you've kept on hold would finally be in motion. Relationships would deepen as you became more present and intentional. You'd move through life with a sense of control, focus, and peace, knowing you're becoming the best version of yourself. This isn't just about achieving goals. It's about living a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. A life where you can look back and feel proud, knowing you gave your best effort to the things that truly matter. Without discipline, life often feels chaotic and overwhelming, filled with unfinished plans and unfulfilled promises. With discipline, every day becomes an opportunity, a chance to grow, improve, and move closer to the person you want to be. You have everything you need to start this journey. The strength, the potential, and the ability to change are already within you. The only thing left is the choice to begin. There's no need to wait for inspiration or the right moment. Start now, right where you are, and take one small step forward. With each step, you'll build the foundation of a life that's steady, focused, and resilient. This isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. It's about taking ownership of your time and actions, aligning them with your deepest values, and creating a life that reflects the person you want to become. Every moment offers a chance to choose discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, and action over excuses. And each of those choices brings you closer to the life you deserve. The power is already within you. Now it's time to use it. Take the first step and let the transformation begin. The journey toward building a stronger, more disciplined life starts with a powerful question: why? Not just why you want discipline, but why you wake up each day and choose to keep going. Why do certain dreams ignite a fire within you, while others fade into the background? Understanding this why is more than a motivational exercise. It's the cornerstone of lasting change. Without purpose, even the best plans fall apart, leaving frustration and emptiness in their wake. Purpose isn't just fuel. It's the engine that keeps you moving forward when the road gets tough. When you uncover your true purpose, discipline transforms from something you struggle to maintain into something that feels natural, even exciting. Every action, no matter how small, gains significance because it aligns with a bigger vision. Purpose isn't a luxury reserved for the lucky few. It's within reach for anyone willing to ask the right questions and dig deep. Let's begin by exploring how this clarity can set the foundation for unshakable self-discipline and reshape the way you approach life. Purpose gives your life direction. People often confuse being busy with being productive, but activity without purpose is like running on a treadmill. No matter how fast you go, you remain in the same place. Purpose shifts your focus from simply doing to doing what matters. It forces you to pause and reflect. What am I working toward, and why does it matter to me? This clarity helps you avoid wasting energy on tasks and commitments that don't align with your goals. Discipline thrives when it's tied to something meaningful. Think about moments when you've pushed through discomfort or resisted temptation. Chances are, those moments were tied to something that deeply mattered to you. Whether it was a loved one, a personal dream, or a moral value, your sense of purpose provided the strength to keep going. Purpose sharpens your focus and helps you see beyond temporary setbacks, keeping your eyes on the bigger picture. To discover your purpose, start by reflecting on what truly drives you. Purpose often lies at the intersection of your passions, skills, and the impact you want to make. Think about what energizes you, what you're naturally drawn to, and what problems you care about solving. Purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just needs to resonate deeply with you. For some, it's creating art that inspires others. For others, it's being a reliable presence for their family. The scale of your purpose matters less than its authenticity. Your past experiences can offer valuable clues about your purpose. Think back to moments in your life when you felt truly alive or fulfilled. What were you doing? What values were you honoring? These moments often reflect the core of who you are and what you find meaningful. Similarly, consider times when you felt frustrated or unfulfilled. What was missing? These negative experiences can also reveal what you value by highlighting what you don't want in your life. Purpose isn't static. It evolves as you grow. What drives you at one stage of life may change as your circumstances and priorities shift. This fluidity isn't a weakness, it's a sign of growth. Checking in with yourself regularly ensures that your purpose remains aligned with your current values and goals. Self-reflection and journaling can be powerful tools for this process, helping you stay connected to what truly matters. When your actions align with your purpose, discipline becomes less about forcing yourself to do something and more about honoring your values. You don't have to wrestle with motivation because your why provides the momentum. Purpose makes the sacrifices and struggles along the way feel worthwhile because they're in service of something bigger than immediate comfort or gratification. Purpose also brings clarity to decision-making. When faced with competing priorities, your purpose acts as a compass, guiding you toward choices that align with your values. This reduces the mental fatigue of indecision and helps you stay focused on what truly matters. Instead of being pulled in a dozen directions, you can channel your energy into what supports your goals. Knowing your purpose doesn't just benefit you, it inspires those around you. When people see someone living with clarity and conviction, it sparks curiosity and admiration. Your discipline and focus can encourage others to reflect on their own values and priorities, creating a ripple effect of positive change. But discovering your purpose requires honesty and courage. It's not always easy to face the truths about what you want or admit that some of your current pursuits aren't aligned with your values. It might mean letting go of certain goals or habits that no longer serve you, even if they once did. This process can feel uncomfortable, but it's a necessary step toward living a more intentional life. To stay connected to your purpose, it helps to surround yourself with reminders of why you're doing what you're doing. Visual cues, such as vision boards or meaningful quotes, can reinforce your commitment. Conversations with trusted friends or mentors can also provide perspective and encouragement. Purpose isn't something you discover once and forget. It's something you nurture and revisit regularly. Purpose is what turns ordinary actions into extraordinary achievements. It transforms a simple task into a step towards something meaningful. With purpose as your foundation, discipline stops being a chore and becomes a natural expression of who you are. It gives you the strength to persevere through setbacks, the focus to ignore distractions, and the confidence to pursue your dreams unapologetically. Without purpose, even the most well-constructed plans can fall apart. It's the difference between striving for a goal you feel obligated to achieve and one that excites you to your core. Purpose is what sustains you when the initial excitement fades and challenges arise. It's the anchor that keeps you steady in the face of uncertainty. Building discipline without a clear sense of purpose is like trying to build a house without a blueprint. Sure, you can lay bricks and hammer nails, but without a plan, you risk ending up with something that doesn't serve your needs. Purpose gives your efforts structure and meaning, ensuring that the discipline you cultivate serves a greater goal. Your purpose doesn't have to be perfect or fully defined to start benefiting you. Even a rough idea of what matters to you can provide guidance and motivation. Over time, as you reflect and grow, your purpose will become clearer. The key is to take action now, even as you continue to refine your understanding. When you live with purpose, each day feels intentional. You approach tasks with a sense of meaning, knowing that they're contributing to something bigger. This doesn't mean that every moment is easy or enjoyable, but it does mean that even the hard moments feel worthwhile. Purpose adds depth and richness to your life, making discipline not just achievable, but rewarding. As you move forward, let your purpose be your guide. Let it shape your decisions, fuel your actions, and keep you grounded when distractions and doubts arise. Purpose is more than a motivational buzzword. It's the foundation of a life well lived. By staying connected to your why, you'll not only build discipline, but also create a life that reflects your truest values and aspirations. Every step you take with purpose brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. When you think about discipline and achievement, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. The weight of your dreams, the size of your goals, and the distance between where you are and where you want to be can feel insurmountable. It's in these moments that doubt creeps in, whispering that it's too much, too hard, or too far. But what if the path to success wasn't about leaping over mountains, but about taking steady, deliberate steps forward? Small steps, often overlooked, hold the power to transform everything. Great achievements aren't born from sudden bursts of effort. They're built on consistent, incremental progress. The moments where you make a choice, however small, to keep moving forward are the ones that define your growth. The idea of doing less, not more, can feel counterintuitive in a world that glorifies big leaps and overnight success. Yet, this approach is rooted in timeless wisdom. When you learn to focus on progress instead of perfection, you unlock resilience, clarity, and a quiet determination that carries you forward. The beauty of small steps lies in their accessibility. They meet you where you are, no matter how far you feel from your goals. You don't need extraordinary motivation or ideal circumstances to take a single step forward. That's the beauty of this principle. It removes the pressure to be perfect and replaces it with the power of simply beginning. Each step builds on the last, creating momentum that grows stronger over time. The Stoics understood that life's challenges can feel overwhelming when viewed as a whole. Instead of being paralyzed by the enormity of the task, they taught the importance of breaking it down into manageable parts. When you focus on what you can do in this moment, you reclaim your power. This approach frees you from the fear of failure because you're no longer trying to do everything at once. Instead, you're simply committing to the next step. Consistency is more important than intensity. It's better to take a small, consistent action every day than to burn yourself out with an all-consuming effort that you can't sustain. A single drop of water may seem insignificant, but over time, those drops can carve through stone. In the same way, small, steady actions have the power to reshape your habits, mindset, and ultimately, your life. They create a foundation that supports growth, even when progress feels slow. When you embrace small steps, you learn to celebrate effort rather than results. This shift in perspective is freeing. It allows you to find joy in the process, rather than fixating on the outcome. Each step becomes a victory in itself because it represents progress, however small. This mindset makes it easier to stay motivated even when the end goal feels distant. You begin to see that the journey itself is valuable, not just the destination. Small steps teach patience. In a world driven by instant gratification, learning to value gradual progress is a rare skill. It requires trust. Trust that your efforts will add up over time, even if the results aren't immediately visible. This patience strengthens your resilience as you learn to stay committed without needing constant validation. The discipline of showing up consistently builds a quiet confidence that nothing can shake. Taking small steps also removes the excuse of waiting for the right moment. There's no need to wait for a burst of motivation or perfect conditions. You don't have to have everything figured out to begin. This simplicity makes small steps accessible to anyone at any stage of their journey. When you focus on what you can do right now, you shift from planning to action. Each step, however small, moves you closer to your goal. The power of small steps lies in their ability to create momentum. Action breeds action, and progress fuels motivation. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you create a ripple effect. That single action builds confidence, making it easier to take the next step and the next, until what once felt impossible becomes achievable. This momentum transforms your mindset, proving to yourself that you're capable of moving forward, even when it feels difficult. Breaking tasks into small steps also reduces the overwhelm that often accompanies big goals. When you focus on the immediate action in front of you, the larger goal feels less daunting. This approach allows you to tackle challenges without being weighed down by the enormity of the task. Each small success builds on the last, creating a sense of progress that motivates you to keep going. Small steps help you build habits that last. Grand gestures can feel exciting in the moment, but they often fade quickly. In contrast, small, consistent actions create lasting change because they're sustainable. Over time, these small actions become second nature, weaving discipline into the fabric of your daily life. The habits you build through small steps form the foundation for bigger achievements. Progress doesn't have to be linear. There will be days when the steps feel smaller, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving. Small steps allow for flexibility, adapting to the realities of life while still keeping you on track. They make it easier to recover from setbacks because you're never too far from the path. This adaptability strengthens your resolve, teaching you that progress is always possible, no matter the circumstances. Small steps also allow you to focus on quality over quantity. Instead of spreading yourself too thin, you can pour your energy into the actions that truly matter. This focus increases the impact of your efforts, ensuring that each step moves you closer to your goal. By prioritizing quality, you avoid burnout and maintain the energy needed to sustain long-term progress. When you take small steps, you become more aware of the present moment. Each step requires focus, grounding you in the here and now. This mindfulness enhances your ability to stay connected to your goals, even amidst distractions. It reminds you that progress happens one moment at a time, encouraging you to make the most of each opportunity. Small steps build resilience by teaching you to embrace imperfection. When you're not striving for perfection, you're free to experiment, learn, and grow. Mistakes become part of the process, rather than something to fear. This mindset fosters a sense of curiosity, making the journey more enjoyable. It also strengthens your ability to persevere, even when things don't go as planned. Each small step is an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to your goals. Every time you choose to take action, you're reinforcing your belief in your ability to succeed. This repetition builds a strong sense of self-trust, which is essential for long-term discipline. As you prove to yourself that you can follow through, your confidence grows, making it easier to stay consistent. Small steps also teach humility. They remind you that progress is a process, not an event. This humility keeps you grounded, allowing you to appreciate the effort and growth that each step represents. It also helps you maintain perspective, preventing you from becoming discouraged by setbacks or challenges. When you focus on small steps, you learn to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. Each action becomes a chance to grow, learn, and strengthen your discipline. This approach creates a sense of fulfillment that isn't dependent on external achievements. You begin to see that the process itself is valuable, giving meaning to every step you take. The simplicity of small steps makes them powerful. They strip away the excuses, doubts, and fears that often hold you back. By focusing on what you can do right now, you reclaim control over your progress. Each step becomes a choice to move forward, to grow, and to keep going. This choice, repeated consistently, transforms your life in ways you never thought possible. Progress matters more than perfection because it keeps you moving. It reminds you that success isn't about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing something consistently. Each small step, no matter how insignificant it may seem, brings you closer to your goal. Over time, these steps add up, creating a momentum that carries you forward. The journey of 1,000 miles truly begins with a single step, and the next step, and the next. By embracing the power of small steps, you unlock a path to lasting progress, resilience, and focus. Each step, however small, is a victory, proof that you're moving forward, growing stronger, and becoming the person you're meant to be. Keep going, one step at a time. Momentum grows with every small step forward, but progress can stall without one vital ingredient: consistency. Showing up daily, even when enthusiasm fades and motivation feels distant, is the bridge between effort and achievement. What separates those who merely wish for success from those who achieve it isn't talent or resources. It's the quiet, unshakable habit of showing up. This habit builds strength, not just in what you do, but in who you become. Showing up is where discipline turns into transformation. Success is rarely the result of monumental efforts made once in a while. Instead, it's the product of showing up consistently, day after day, regardless of how you feel. This doesn't mean waiting for perfect energy or ideal conditions. It's about committing to the process, even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. When you develop the habit of showing up, you remove the need for constant decision-making. The question isn't whether you'll act, it's simply when and how. Consistency creates trust, not only with others, but most importantly, with yourself. Each time you show up, you prove that you can follow through on your commitments. This trust builds a foundation of confidence, making it easier to tackle bigger challenges. When you trust yourself, hesitation fades. You stop second-guessing your ability and focus instead on the action itself. The power of showing up lies in its cumulative effect. One effort, repeated consistently, compounds over time to create lasting change. Like water carving through rock, the steady persistence of daily action shapes your results. This consistency also creates momentum. When you show up regularly, it becomes easier to maintain progress because each action reinforces the one before it. This momentum makes the process feel less daunting and more natural. Showing up doesn't mean being perfect. It means being present and putting in effort, even when it feels small or imperfect. The beauty of consistency is that it allows for mistakes and adjustments without derailing your progress. Every time you show up, you're strengthening the habit, even if the results aren't immediately visible. The habit itself becomes a source of stability and growth. Consistency also helps you stay connected to your purpose. By showing up regularly, you remind yourself of why you started and what you're working toward. This connection keeps your goals alive, even when distractions or setbacks arise. It's easy to lose sight of your purpose when you're inconsistent, but regular effort keeps it front and center. One of the biggest challenges to showing up is the temptation to wait for motivation. Motivation is fleeting, often disappearing when you need it most. Consistency, on the other hand, doesn't rely on feelings, it relies on commitment. When you develop the habit of showing up, you eliminate the need to rely on unpredictable bursts of energy. Instead, you create a steady rhythm that carries you forward. The act of showing up creates a sense of ownership. It shifts your mindset from being passive to being active. Instead of waiting for success to happen, you take control of your progress. This ownership is empowering because it reminds you that your actions, no matter how small, shape your future. Each time you show up, you reclaim that power. Consistency also builds resilience. When you show up regularly, you become more comfortable with discomfort. You learn to push through resistance, doubts, and external challenges. This resilience strengthens not only your discipline, but also your ability to face other areas of life with confidence. The habit of showing up becomes a source of inner strength. Regular effort creates clarity. When you show up consistently, you gain a deeper understanding of what works and what doesn't. This clarity allows you to refine your approach, making your efforts more effective over time. Without consistency, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of starting and stopping, never building enough momentum to learn and grow. Showing up simplifies the process of achieving your goals. Instead of focusing on the enormity of the task, you focus on the act of being present and taking action. This simplicity reduces overwhelm and makes it easier to stay on track. When you commit to showing up, you remove the burden of overthinking and replace it with purposeful action. The habit of showing up also fosters discipline in other areas of life. When you commit to regular effort in one area, it creates a ripple effect, strengthening your ability to follow through on other commitments. This interconnectedness reinforces your overall sense of discipline, creating a foundation for growth and success. Showing up consistently builds a sense of pride. Each time you honor your commitment, you create a small victory. These victories, no matter how minor they seem, add up over time. They remind you of your capability and reinforce your belief in yourself. This sense of pride motivates you to keep going, even when progress feels slow. The habit of showing up teaches patience. Success rarely happens overnight, and consistency reminds you that growth is a process. By focusing on the act of showing up rather than rushing to the finish line, you develop the patience needed to stay committed. This patience reduces frustration and helps you stay grounded in the journey. When you show up regularly, you also create opportunities for unexpected breakthroughs. Some days may feel routine or even unproductive, but consistency ensures that you're present when opportunities arise. These moments of progress or insight wouldn't happen without the foundation of regular effort. Consistency removes the guesswork from your day. When you build the habit of showing up, it becomes a non-negotiable part of your routine. This structure reduces decision fatigue, allowing you to direct your energy toward meaningful action rather than debating whether to act. The habit itself becomes automatic, freeing your mental space for focus and creativity. Showing up creates accountability. Each time you take action, you hold yourself accountable to your goals and values. This accountability strengthens your commitment, making it less likely that you'll abandon your efforts when challenges arise. By showing up, you demonstrate to yourself and others that your goals matter. Consistency also builds credibility. Whether in personal or professional relationships, the habit of showing up signals reliability and dedication. People begin to trust you because they see that you follow through on your commitments. This credibility opens doors and strengthens connections, creating a positive feedback loop of trust and respect. The act of showing up nurtures gratitude. When you commit to regular effort, you become more aware of the opportunities and resources that support your journey. This awareness fosters a sense of appreciation for the process, even during difficult moments. Gratitude, in turn, fuels motivation and strengthens your resolve. Showing up is an act of self-respect. It's a way of honoring your goals and values by prioritizing them in your daily life. When you show up consistently, you're telling yourself that your dreams and efforts are worth the time and energy. This self-respect reinforces your sense of worth and strengthens your commitment to growth. The habit of showing up teaches adaptability. Not every day will go as planned, but consistency allows you to adjust without losing momentum. When you're committed to showing up, you find ways to overcome obstacles and keep moving forward. This adaptability ensures that setbacks don't derail your progress. By showing up regularly, you create a sense of stability. The habit becomes an anchor, providing structure and direction even during chaotic times. This stability helps you stay grounded, focused, and resilient, no matter what challenges arise. It reminds you that progress is always possible as long as you're willing to take the next step. Consistency also cultivates humility. When you commit to showing up, you acknowledge that growth takes time and effort. This humility keeps you grounded, reminding you to appreciate the process rather than rushing to the outcome. It also fosters a sense of gratitude for the progress you've made and the lessons you've learned along the way. The habit of showing up strengthens your connection to your purpose. Each time you take action, you reinforce your commitment to what matters most. This connection keeps you motivated and focused, even when the journey feels challenging. By showing up, you remind yourself of the value of your goals and the importance of staying true to your path. When you show up consistently, you create a legacy of effort and dedication. Each action contributes to a larger narrative of growth and progress. This legacy isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. The habit of showing up shapes your character, strengthening your discipline, resilience, and sense of purpose. In the end, showing up is about more than just achieving goals. It's about living with intention, embracing the journey, and honoring your commitment to growth. Each time you show up, you take a step closer to becoming the person you want to be. This habit, simple yet powerful, is the key to unlocking your full potential. Keep showing up every day, no matter what. The habit of showing up consistently builds momentum, but progress often meets resistance. Obstacles appear, outcomes don't align with expectations, and frustrations arise. This is where clarity of focus becomes essential. Not everything is within your control, yet we often expend energy on the uncontrollable, leaving us drained, distracted, and disheartened. The wisdom of the Stoics offers a powerful antidote. Focus only on what you can change. This clarity, known as the dichotomy of control, transforms how you approach challenges, decisions, and setbacks. By mastering this perspective, you unlock mental freedom, reduce stress, and direct your energy toward meaningful actions. Epictetus emphasized that the key to a balanced, disciplined life lies in distinguishing between what depends on you and what doesn't. It's simple in theory, but profoundly challenging in practice. Your thoughts, choices, and actions fall under your control. External circumstances, opinions, and outcomes do not. When you truly internalize this distinction, frustration gives way to empowerment. Instead of resisting the inevitable or worrying about what might happen, you focus on the things you can influence. This shift liberates your mind from unnecessary burdens, allowing you to channel your energy where it matters most. A major source of stress is the attempt to control what is beyond reach. Whether it's the outcome of a project, the behavior of others, or the forces of nature, resisting the uncontrollable creates inner conflict. Accepting the limits of your influence doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing where your power lies. It's about letting go of the illusion that you can bend the world to your will. This acceptance isn't passive. It's an active choice to focus on what you can do, rather than being paralyzed by what you cannot. Focusing only on what you can control simplifies decision-making. When you're clear about what falls within your influence, you stop wasting time on unproductive worries. Instead, you redirect your efforts towards solutions. For example, if a colleague's behavior irritates you, dwelling on their attitude only deepens your frustration. But shifting focus to how you respond puts the power back in your hands. You can choose to remain calm, set boundaries, or approach the situation with understanding. This clarity reduces emotional reactivity and keeps you grounded. The dichotomy of control fosters resilience. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. When you accept that not everything is within your control, you become better equipped to handle challenges. Instead of being derailed by disappointment, you focus on adapting and finding ways forward. This mindset allows you to stay calm under pressure, knowing that while you can't control what happens, you can control how you respond. Resilience grows from this ability to navigate uncertainty with composure. Embracing this principle also strengthens relationships. Many conflicts arise from the desire to control others, whether it's their opinions, actions, or feelings. By recognizing that you can't dictate how others think or behave, you free yourself from the frustration of unmet expectations. This doesn't mean you ignore others' needs. It means approaching interactions with respect for their autonomy. You focus on communicating clearly, setting healthy boundaries, and accepting that their choices are theirs to make. The dichotomy of control enhances focus. When you stop chasing the uncontrollable, you reclaim mental energy that would otherwise be wasted on anxiety or regret. This clarity helps you prioritize actions that align with your values and goals. For instance, instead of fixating on the outcome of a job interview, you focus on preparing thoroughly, presenting yourself authentically, and learning from the experience. Whether you get the job or not, you've directed your energy toward what you could control, making the process worthwhile. Letting go of the uncontrollable reduces emotional suffering. Anxiety often stems from worrying about future events that may never happen, while regret keeps you tied to the past. Both states are rooted in things you cannot change. The future is uncertain, and the past is fixed. By grounding yourself in the present and focusing on what you can influence here and now, you break free from these emotional traps. This shift brings a sense of peace and clarity, allowing you to engage fully with the present moment. The dichotomy of control also nurtures self-discipline. When you focus on what you can control, you take full responsibility for your actions and choices. This accountability drives you to act with integrity, knowing that your effort, not external validation, defines your success. For example, if you're working on a fitness goal, you can't control how quickly your body changes, but you can control your diet, exercise routine, and mindset. This focus keeps you motivated, even when progress feels slow. Understanding what you can and cannot control fosters gratitude. When you stop taking responsibility for everything that happens, you become more aware of the things that are going well. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, helping you appreciate the opportunities and resources within your reach. This mindset strengthens your resilience and keeps you motivated, even in challenging times. Focusing on what you can change also enhances your creativity. When you're not bogged down by worries about the uncontrollable, your mind has the space to explore possibilities. This freedom allows you to approach challenges with curiosity and innovation. Instead of feeling defeated by obstacles, you see them as opportunities to test your skills and discover new solutions. This proactive mindset fuels growth and progress. The dichotomy of control teaches humility. It reminds you that no matter how capable or determined you are, some things are beyond your influence. This humility keeps you grounded, helping you approach life with an open mind and a willingness to adapt. It also fosters empathy, as you recognize that others, like you, are navigating circumstances outside their control. Applying this principle requires mindfulness. It's not always easy to distinguish between what you can and cannot control. Taking time to reflect on your thoughts and actions helps you identify where your energy is best spent. Journaling, meditation, or simply pausing to ask yourself, "Is this within my control?" can clarify your focus and guide your decisions. The practice of focusing on what you can change builds emotional strength. It teaches you to face challenges without being overwhelmed by frustration or fear. This strength doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means acknowledging them, understanding their source, and choosing how to respond. By taking responsibility for your reactions, you build a sense of inner stability that supports you through life's ups and downs. Over time, this mindset becomes second nature. You stop reacting to external events with frustration or blame and start approaching them with curiosity and determination. The habit of focusing on what you can control transforms how you experience life. Instead of feeling powerless in the face of challenges, you feel empowered to take meaningful action. This principle isn't about ignoring the uncontrollable, it's about accepting it with grace. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation, it means choosing to move forward despite uncertainty. It's about finding peace in the chaos, knowing that while you can't control everything, you can always control something. This perspective brings clarity, resilience, and a sense of purpose to everything you do. When you focus on what you can control, you cultivate a mindset of empowerment, patience, and clarity. You stop wasting energy on what's beyond your reach and start directing it toward actions that matter. This shift not only enhances your discipline, but also transforms how you navigate life's complexities. By embracing the wisdom of the dichotomy of control, you free yourself to live with greater purpose, resilience, and peace. Accepting what is beyond your control frees your energy. But what happens when life tests you with situations that are fully within your power to endure or walk away from? These are the moments that define growth, the times when discomfort calls not as an obstacle, but as an invitation. Adversity, far from being a curse, is a teacher that shapes resilience and builds strength. Avoiding discomfort may feel natural, but embracing it unlocks a deeper kind of power, the kind that prepares you for anything life might throw your way. Growth often comes wrapped in the difficult and the unexpected. Discomfort challenges your limits, forcing you to confront parts of yourself that comfort hides. Whether it's a demanding project, a tough workout, or an awkward conversation you've been avoiding, leaning into these moments builds more than just physical or mental endurance. It builds character. The choice to step into discomfort, even voluntarily, strengthens the mind and fortifies the spirit, preparing you to navigate life with confidence and composure. When you choose to embrace discomfort intentionally, you take control of the narrative. Challenges no longer feel like threats, but opportunities to expand your capacity. Practicing voluntary discomfort, whether it's fasting, waking up early, or forgoing conveniences, teaches you to appreciate simplicity and trains your mind to endure without complaint. These deliberate acts create a buffer of resilience, making you less reactive to stress and more adaptable in the face of challenges you don't choose. The Stoics understood that discomfort is not something to fear, but something to harness. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reminded himself that obstacles are opportunities. What stands in the way becomes the way forward. This mindset turns adversity into a tool for growth. By seeking out small, manageable challenges, you develop a sense of mastery over your reactions. This mastery isn't just useful in controlled environments, but carries over into real-world difficulties, where your trained mind responds with calm and clarity. Embracing discomfort sharpens focus. When you're in the midst of a challenge, whether it's running in the rain or practicing patience in a tense conversation, your mind must be fully present. This focus strengthens your awareness and forces you to confront the task at hand without distraction. Over time, this habit of facing discomfort builds a laser-like attention that extends to other areas of life, improving productivity and decision-making. The act of enduring discomfort fosters a deep sense of gratitude. When you voluntarily go without something you take for granted, like a warm bed or a familiar routine, you develop a greater appreciation for what you have. This perspective shift reminds you of your resilience and helps you see abundance in simplicity. Gratitude, in turn, softens the edges of life's hardships, reminding you that even in difficulty, there is something to be thankful for. Discomfort also teaches humility. It strips away the illusion of invincibility and confronts you with your vulnerabilities. But rather than weakening you, this awareness of your limits creates a stronger foundation for growth. When you face discomfort head-on, you acknowledge that life isn't always easy or controllable, yet you choose to persevere anyway. This humility grounds you, helping you to navigate challenges with a calm and open mind. Adversity reveals the power of adaptability. No matter how well you prepare, life will always find ways to surprise you. By stepping into discomfort regularly, you train yourself to respond to the unexpected with flexibility rather than fear. This adaptability becomes second nature, enabling you to pivot, adjust, and thrive even when circumstances change abruptly. Mental toughness is built through discomfort because it requires you to push through moments when quitting feels easier. Each time you persevere, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. This process strengthens not only your endurance, but also your self-belief. Confidence isn't built in moments of ease, but in the times when you could have given up, yet chose to keep going. Discomfort also fosters creativity. When faced with a challenge, your mind searches for solutions, often uncovering new approaches and ideas that wouldn't emerge in a state of comfort. This problem-solving mindset becomes a valuable tool, equipping you to find opportunities even in adversity. The willingness to embrace discomfort sparks innovation and resourcefulness, helping you to grow beyond what you once thought possible. Practicing voluntary discomfort cultivates patience. Endurance often requires waiting, whether it's holding a plank position, enduring a period of uncertainty, or saving for a long-term goal. This patience develops a calm persistence that carries over into all areas of life. You become less reactive and more thoughtful, understanding that growth takes time and that every challenge is part of a larger process. Adversity tests your values. When you choose discomfort in service of something meaningful, like standing up for your beliefs or working toward a dream, you clarify what truly matters to you. This clarity strengthens your sense of purpose, anchoring you even in the midst of difficulty. Discomfort becomes a reminder of your commitment to what you hold dear, making every challenge feel worthwhile. The act of embracing discomfort also deepens self-awareness. When you step outside your comfort zone, you gain insight into how you think, react, and cope under pressure. This awareness allows you to identify patterns and adjust your approach, fostering continuous improvement. Each challenge becomes a mirror, reflecting both your strengths and areas for growth, and giving you the opportunity to refine yourself. Discomfort builds community. Shared adversity often creates stronger bonds, whether it's among teammates pushing through a tough workout or colleagues navigating a demanding project. These shared experiences foster trust, empathy, and mutual respect, reminding you that you're not alone in facing challenges. The support of others often makes enduring discomfort not only bearable, but deeply rewarding. Embracing discomfort teaches you to let go of perfectionism. When you're focused on enduring or overcoming a challenge, there's no room for overthinking or worrying about doing it perfectly. You learn to value effort over outcomes, progress over perfection. This mindset frees you from the fear of failure, allowing you to approach life with greater curiosity and courage. Adversity highlights the importance of preparation. While you can't control every challenge, practicing voluntary discomfort equips you with the tools to face the unexpected. Whether it's building physical endurance, sharpening your focus, or strengthening your patience, these small acts of preparation create a reservoir of resilience that you can draw from in difficult times. This readiness gives you a sense of control, even in uncertain situations. When you consistently choose discomfort, you redefine your relationship with fear. Challenges that once felt overwhelming begin to feel manageable because you've proven to yourself that you can handle them. This confidence quiets the voice of doubt, replacing it with a calm assurance that you can rise to the occasion. Fear no longer holds you back, but instead becomes a signal that you're stepping into growth. Adversity also helps you build perspective. When you've faced and overcome challenges, you're better equipped to recognize what truly matters. Small inconveniences lose their power to frustrate you, and you develop a greater capacity to focus on the bigger picture. This perspective keeps you grounded, reminding you that every difficulty is temporary and that growth is always within reach. Choosing discomfort teaches you to value discipline over comfort. Comfort, while appealing in the moment, often leads to stagnation. Discipline, on the other hand, creates a life of purpose and growth. Each time you choose the harder path, you reinforce your commitment to becoming stronger, more focused, and more resilient. This commitment becomes a source of pride, motivating you to continue seeking challenges. Adversity also reveals the depth of your strength. Challenges often feel insurmountable until you face them, and in doing so, you discover that you're capable of far more than you believed. This realization doesn't just change how you see yourself, it changes how you approach life. You stop shying away from difficulties and start seeing them as opportunities to prove your strength. The lessons of discomfort extend far beyond the moment of challenge. Each act of endurance leaves a lasting imprint, shaping your character and influencing how you approach future obstacles. The resilience, focus, and patience you develop become lifelong tools, equipping you to navigate the complexities of life with grace and confidence. Discomfort, when embraced, becomes a pathway to freedom. It frees you from the need to avoid challenges, from the fear of failure, and from the limitations of comfort. It reminds you that growth is always possible and that the strength you need is already within you, waiting to be discovered. Through adversity, you don't just become tougher, you become more fully yourself, ready to face whatever comes next. Strength grows in discomfort, but sustaining that strength requires another key ingredient: patience. In a world that constantly tempts you with instant rewards, learning to delay gratification is not just a skill, it's an act of discipline that separates fleeting satisfaction from lasting fulfillment. Choosing to wait, to forego immediate pleasure for something greater, is a quiet power that shapes your character and defines your path. This choice isn't easy, but it's worth everything. It's where discipline meets action and where meaningful progress is built. Delaying gratification is about aligning your actions with your values rather than being swayed by impulses. It's choosing to stay true to your long-term goals, even when the pull of the present moment feels strong. This ability to pause, to resist, and to wait is at the core of all meaningful achievements. It requires self-awareness, clarity of purpose, and a willingness to endure short-term discomfort for the sake of a greater outcome. In every decision lies a choice between immediate pleasure and delayed rewards. The brain, wired for survival, naturally seeks quick gratification. It's a mechanism that kept early humans alive. But in today's world, this same instinct often leads to choices that conflict with your deeper aspirations. Delaying gratification rewires this instinct, teaching your mind to prioritize what truly matters over what feels good in the moment. This mental shift is not about deprivation, it's about control and intention. Resisting instant gratification strengthens your ability to focus. When you constantly give in to distractions or cravings, your attention scatters. But when you practice saying no to what's easy, you train your mind to stay centered on what's important. This focus enhances every aspect of your life, from work to relationships, because you're no longer pulled in a dozen directions by fleeting desires. Delaying gratification fosters emotional resilience. It's not just about resisting temptation, it's about learning to sit with discomfort without acting on it. Whether it's hunger, boredom, or frustration, the ability to endure these feelings without seeking immediate relief builds a sense of inner strength. This resilience carries over into other challenges, making you less reactive and more composed in difficult situations. Choosing to wait also enhances your sense of self-control. Each time you resist an impulse, you prove to yourself that you're in charge of your actions, not your urges. This self-mastery creates a positive feedback loop, reinforcing your confidence and discipline. Over time, you begin to trust yourself more deeply, knowing that you can make choices that align with your long-term goals. Delaying gratification helps you cultivate patience. Progress, whether personal or professional, rarely happens overnight. It requires sustained effort and a willingness to wait for results. When you practice delaying gratification, you strengthen your ability to stay committed even when the rewards are far off. This patience is a critical part of discipline, allowing you to persevere through setbacks and stay focused on the bigger picture. The practice of delaying gratification also deepens your sense of gratitude. When you wait for something, you appreciate it more fully when it arrives. This heightened appreciation reminds you of the value of effort and the importance of earning what you receive. Gratitude, in turn, fuels your motivation, encouraging you to stay disciplined in pursuit of your goals. Resisting instant pleasures also sharpens your decision-making. Each time you choose to delay gratification, you're exercising the part of your brain responsible for rational thought and planning. This strengthens your ability to make thoughtful, intentional choices, rather than being ruled by impulse. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, guiding you toward decisions that align with your values and aspirations. Delaying gratification nurtures a long-term mindset. In a culture obsessed with quick fixes and immediate results, this perspective is rare but invaluable. It allows you to see beyond the moment, to consider the future consequences of your actions. This long-term thinking not only enhances your discipline, but also improves your relationships, finances, and personal growth. Practicing delayed gratification teaches you to value quality over quantity. Instead of chasing quick wins or superficial rewards, you focus on what truly matters. This shift helps you prioritize meaningful experiences and achievements over temporary pleasures. By aligning your actions with your values, you create a life that feels rich and fulfilling, rather than scattered and shallow. Resisting immediate rewards also helps you build habits that last. Instant gratification often undermines your efforts by creating a cycle of short-term satisfaction followed by long-term regret. But when you delay gratification, you break this cycle, replacing it with habits that support your growth. These habits become the foundation for lasting change, guiding you toward your goals with consistency and focus. Delaying gratification requires self-awareness. To resist temptation, you must first recognize it. This awareness helps you identify the triggers and patterns that lead to impulsive decisions. By understanding these patterns, you gain the power to disrupt them, choosing deliberate action over automatic reaction. This self-awareness strengthens your discipline and deepens your connection to your values. The act of delaying gratification also fosters creativity. When you can't rely on immediate solutions, your mind is forced to explore alternatives. This problem-solving process often leads to insights and innovations that wouldn't arise in a state of comfort. By embracing the challenge of waiting, you unlock your potential for creativity and growth. Delaying gratification enhances your sense of control over time. When you're constantly chasing instant rewards, time feels fragmented and chaotic. But when you align your actions with long-term goals, you gain a clearer sense of direction and purpose. Each moment becomes an opportunity to invest in your future, rather than a fleeting attempt to satisfy the present. Resisting immediate pleasures also strengthens your relationships. Instant gratification often leads to selfish decisions, while delayed gratification encourages consideration and thoughtfulness. When you prioritize long-term harmony over short-term satisfaction, you build trust, respect, and connection with others. This approach fosters deeper, more meaningful relationships that enrich your life. Delaying gratification helps you develop a growth mindset. Each time you resist an impulse, you reinforce the belief that effort and persistence lead to success. This mindset encourages you to see challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than as obstacles to avoid. By embracing this perspective, you cultivate the resilience and determination needed to pursue your goals. Resisting instant pleasures also enhances your health. Many temptations, from junk food to procrastination, undermine your physical and mental well-being. By choosing delayed gratification, you align your actions with choices that support your health. This alignment not only improves your quality of life, but also strengthens your discipline in other areas. The practice of delaying gratification teaches you to find satisfaction in effort rather than outcome. When you focus on the process rather than the result, you discover a sense of fulfillment that isn't tied to external rewards. This internal satisfaction keeps you motivated even when progress feels slow or uncertain. Delaying gratification also helps you build a legacy. The choices you make today shape the future you create for yourself and others. By prioritizing long-term rewards over immediate pleasures, you invest in a future that reflects your values and aspirations. This legacy isn't just about what you achieve, it's about the impact you leave behind. Resisting instant pleasures fosters humility. It reminds you that growth takes time and that success isn't always immediate. This humility keeps you grounded, helping you appreciate the effort and dedication required to achieve meaningful goals. It also deepens your empathy as you recognize the patience and perseverance required in others. Delaying gratification ultimately strengthens your sense of purpose. When you resist the pull of the present moment, you reaffirm your commitment to your goals and values. This alignment keeps you focused and motivated even when the journey feels challenging. By choosing discipline over impulse, you create a life that reflects your highest aspirations. This choice, repeated consistently, becomes the foundation for lasting success and fulfillment. Choosing long-term rewards over fleeting pleasures strengthens your resolve, but the journey toward discipline and fulfillment doesn't happen in isolation. Along the way, you'll encounter criticism, distractions, and negativity, external forces that test your focus and shake your confidence. Protecting your peace in the face of such influences is crucial. Without a strong defense, even the most disciplined individual can be derailed by the words and actions of others. Guarding your mindset is not about shutting out the world, but about cultivating the strength to remain centered amidst the noise. Criticism is inevitable, especially when you strive for growth or pursue goals that challenge the status quo. People will doubt you, question your choices, and at times try to undermine your progress. This can feel deeply personal, but the wisdom of Stoicism teaches otherwise. Criticism often is more a reflection of the critic than of you. It stems from their fears, insecurities, or lack of understanding. Recognizing this shifts your perspective, helping you separate the message from the messenger and the useful from the irrelevant. The Stoic practice of focusing on what you can control becomes invaluable here. You can't control others' opinions or actions, but you can control how you respond. By grounding yourself in this principle, you create a shield against negativity. Instead of internalizing harsh words, you view them as external noise, powerless unless you grant them influence. This detachment doesn't mean ignoring constructive feedback. It means filtering out what doesn't serve your growth, while thoughtfully considering what does. Guarding your peace requires a clear understanding of your values and priorities. When you're confident in your path, criticism loses its sting. The more aligned you are with your purpose, the less weight you give to opinions that don't resonate with it. This alignment creates a sense of inner stability, allowing you to move forward without being swayed by doubt or distraction. Your peace becomes an anchor, steadying you in the face of external turbulence. Distractions can be just as corrosive as criticism, pulling your focus away from what matters most. These can take the form of meaningless debates, toxic environments, or the endless noise of modern life. Identifying and minimizing these distractions is a form of self-respect. It's about valuing your time, energy, and mental clarity enough to protect them from being squandered. This isn't avoidance, it's intention. You're not running from the world, but choosing to engage with it on your terms. Setting boundaries is essential to guarding your peace. Boundaries are not walls. They're guidelines that define what you allow into your life. They protect your mental and emotional energy, ensuring that you have the space to focus on what truly matters. Enforcing boundaries can feel uncomfortable, especially if you fear disappointing others. But this discomfort is outweighed by the freedom and clarity they provide. Boundaries empower you to say no to what drains you, making room for what nourishes you. Learning to remain calm in the face of negativity is a skill, one that grows with practice. When confronted with criticism or distractions, your initial reaction may be frustration or defensiveness. But with time, you can train yourself to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. This pause creates a space between stimulus and response, a space where you reclaim your power. In that moment, you choose whether to engage, redirect, or let go. Guarding your peace also means being selective about the company you keep. The people around you influence your mindset more than you may realize. Surrounding yourself with supportive, uplifting individuals fosters positivity and resilience. On the other hand, toxic relationships drain your energy and cloud your focus. Choosing your circle carefully is not selfish. It's necessary for your well-being and growth. Those who truly care about you will respect your boundaries and support your journey. Criticism, when handled wisely, can be an opportunity for growth. It's important to differentiate between destructive negativity and constructive feedback. The former seeks to tear you down, while the latter aims to help you improve. By approaching criticism with curiosity rather than defensiveness, you open the door to learning and refinement. Ask yourself whether the feedback aligns with your values and goals. If it does, embrace it as a tool for growth. If it doesn't, let it pass without lingering on it. Silencing detractors doesn't always mean confrontation. Often, the most effective response is no response at all. By refusing to engage with negativity, you deprive it of the attention it seeks. This doesn't mean ignoring everything. It means choosing where to direct your energy. Some battles are worth fighting, others are best left alone. Wisdom lies in knowing the difference. Practicing mindfulness strengthens your ability to guard your peace. Mindfulness helps you stay present, grounded, and aware of your thoughts and emotions. When negativity arises, mindfulness allows you to observe it without being consumed by it. This awareness creates a buffer, giving you the space to respond with clarity rather than reacting impulsively. Over time, mindfulness becomes a natural part of how you navigate challenges, keeping you calm and focused. Negativity, whether from others or within yourself, often thrives on fear. Fear of failure, judgment, or rejection can amplify criticism and distractions, making them feel more powerful than they are. Facing these fears directly diminishes their hold on you. By acknowledging your fears without letting them define you, you weaken their ability to disrupt your peace. This courage grows with each challenge you face, building a sense of inner strength that no external force can shake. Gratitude is another powerful tool for guarding your peace. When you focus on what you're grateful for, negativity loses its grip. Gratitude shifts your perspective, reminding you of the abundance and support in your life. It grounds you in the present, making it easier to let go of criticism and distractions. Cultivating gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it gives you the resilience to face them with grace. Guarding your peace also means protecting your inner dialogue. The way you speak to yourself shapes how you interpret external events. If your inner voice is critical or harsh, external negativity will feel more overwhelming. But if your self-talk is kind and supportive, you'll be better equipped to navigate challenges. Cultivating a positive inner dialogue requires intention and practice, but it's one of the most effective ways to strengthen your resilience. Silencing detractors isn't about proving them wrong, it's about staying true to yourself. When you focus on your values, priorities, and goals, external negativity becomes less significant. It's not about blocking out the world, but about filtering it through the lens of what matters most. This clarity keeps you moving forward, even when faced with criticism or doubt. Over time, the practice of guarding your peace becomes second nature. You develop an inner strength that allows you to navigate negativity without being pulled off course. This strength isn't about isolation or indifference. It's about cultivating a mindset that remains steady and focused in any situation. By protecting your peace, you create the space to thrive, grow, and pursue your goals with confidence. This is where true freedom lies, in the ability to move forward, unshaken by the noise around you. Protecting your peace creates the space to focus on what truly matters. But how do you ensure you're growing within that space? The answer lies in looking inward. Honest self-reflection is the quiet yet powerful practice of facing yourself without judgment. It's not about finding flaws, it's about discovering truth. Each day is filled with choices, actions, and lessons, and nightly retrospection allows you to extract meaning from them. Through this practice, you build resilience, refine your habits, and keep moving forward with clarity and intention. Self-reflection is a discipline that demands honesty. It requires you to confront both your victories and your mistakes without sugarcoating or self-criticism. This balance of accountability and kindness is key to progress. When you reflect on your day, you're not just observing what happened. You're learning about yourself, your motivations, and your areas for growth. This awareness creates a foundation for improvement, helping you refine your actions and align them with your values. Nightly retrospection helps you track your progress. Growth is often subtle, and without reflection, it's easy to overlook how far you've come. Taking time each evening to review your day allows you to recognize your efforts, even in small ways. This acknowledgement fosters a sense of momentum, motivating you to keep building on your progress. It also helps you identify patterns, both positive and negative, so you can reinforce what's working and address what's not. Honest self-reflection also strengthens your ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and plans often change. By reflecting on your day, you gain insight into what needs adjustment. This adaptability is crucial for resilience, as it allows you to navigate challenges without losing sight of your goals. Reflection turns setbacks into learning opportunities, showing you how to approach similar situations more effectively in the future. The practice of nightly retrospection deepens your self-awareness. It brings clarity to your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, helping you understand why you act the way you do. This awareness is the first step toward meaningful change. When you understand your triggers and tendencies, you gain the power to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. This self-awareness also fosters compassion as you begin to see yourself as a work in progress rather than a finished product. Self-reflection enhances your decision-making. Each day is filled with choices, some small and some significant. By reviewing these decisions, you can evaluate whether they align with your goals and values. This evaluation helps you make more intentional choices in the future, reducing regret and increasing satisfaction. Over time, this practice trains your mind to approach decisions with greater clarity and confidence. Nightly retrospection nurtures gratitude. In the hustle of daily life, it's easy to focus on what went wrong or what remains undone. Reflection encourages you to also acknowledge what went well, no matter how small. This gratitude shifts your perspective, helping you end each day with a sense of fulfillment. It reminds you that progress is not only about fixing what's broken, but also about celebrating what's already strong. Honest self-reflection also builds humility. It requires you to acknowledge your imperfections without judgment. This humility keeps you grounded, reminding you that growth is a journey, not a destination. It also opens your mind to feedback and new perspectives, as you're no longer defensive about your flaws. Humility, born from reflection, creates the space for continuous learning and improvement. Through retrospection, you strengthen your connection to your values. Each day presents opportunities to act in alignment with what matters most to you. Reflecting on your choices helps you see where you stayed true to your values and where you strayed. This clarity reinforces your commitment to living with intention. It's not about perfection, but about consistently striving to align your actions with your deeper purpose. Self-reflection fosters resilience by teaching you to embrace discomfort. Looking honestly at your day can be challenging, especially when it reveals mistakes or missed opportunities. But this discomfort is where growth happens. By facing it head-on, you build the strength to confront challenges with courage and grace. Reflection turns discomfort into a tool for learning, making you stronger and more adaptable over time. Nightly retrospection creates a sense of closure. Each day is filled with highs and lows, and carrying unresolved emotions into the next day can be draining. Reflection allows you to process these experiences, letting go of what no longer serves you and carrying forward the lessons. This sense of closure brings peace, enabling you to rest and recharge for the day ahead. The act of self-reflection also strengthens your focus. By reviewing your day, you identify where your attention was most effective and where it was scattered. This insight helps you refine your priorities, ensuring that your energy is directed toward what truly matters. Over time, this practice sharpens your ability to stay focused, even amidst distractions. Honest reflection deepens your relationships. By examining your interactions, you gain insight into how your words and actions affect others. This awareness helps you approach relationships with greater empathy and intention. Whether it's a moment of kindness or a conflict, reflecting on these experiences fosters growth and understanding, strengthening your connections with those around you. Self-reflection teaches you to find meaning in the ordinary. Not every day will be filled with major achievements or significant events, but every day holds lessons. By reflecting on the small moments, you begin to see the value in consistency and effort. This perspective transforms routine tasks into opportunities for growth, keeping you engaged and motivated. Through retrospection, you develop a habit of accountability. It's easy to blame external factors for setbacks or challenges, but reflection encourages you to take responsibility for your role. This accountability isn't about guilt, it's about empowerment. When you acknowledge your influence over your actions and outcomes, you gain the confidence to make meaningful changes. The practice of nightly reflection enhances your resilience by fostering a sense of perspective. When you step back and review your day, you see challenges in the context of a larger journey. This perspective reminds you that setbacks are temporary and that progress is always possible. It also helps you appreciate the growth that comes from overcoming obstacles, reinforcing your belief in your ability to handle adversity. Self-reflection nurtures self-trust. Each time you take the time to evaluate your day, you demonstrate a commitment to your growth and well-being. This consistency builds a sense of trust in yourself, reinforcing your belief in your ability to navigate life with intention and purpose. Over time, this trust becomes a source of inner strength, supporting you through challenges and uncertainties. Honest retrospection also helps you recognize patterns. By reviewing your days consistently, you begin to see trends in your behavior, thoughts, and choices. This awareness allows you to identify habits that serve you and those that don't. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward breaking negative cycles and reinforcing positive ones. Through reflection, you cultivate a sense of patience. Growth takes time, and nightly retrospection reminds you that progress is made one day at a time. This patience reduces frustration and keeps you motivated, even when the results aren't immediately visible. It encourages you to stay committed to the process, trusting that each small effort contributes to a larger transformation. Self-reflection also enhances your ability to set and achieve goals. By reviewing your progress regularly, you gain clarity on what's working and what needs adjustment. This clarity helps you refine your approach, ensuring that your efforts remain aligned with your objectives. Over time, this practice turns goals into achievable steps, keeping you focused and motivated. The act of looking inward each night fosters a deep sense of self-respect. It's a way of honoring your journey and acknowledging your efforts, even when they feel small. This self-respect reinforces your belief in your potential, encouraging you to keep striving for growth and improvement. It reminds you that every step, no matter how small, is a step forward. Through the practice of honest self-reflection, you build a foundation of resilience, clarity, and purpose. Each night becomes an opportunity to learn, grow, and reset, ensuring that you move forward with intention and confidence. By facing yourself with honesty and compassion, you transform your daily experiences into a source of strength, guiding you toward a life of meaning and fulfillment. Self-reflection illuminates your strengths and areas for growth, but forging discipline and resilience doesn't need to be a solitary endeavor. The power of a role model lies in their ability to show what is possible. Their lives, filled with lessons of perseverance, discipline, and purpose, offer a roadmap that can guide your own journey. Learning from the practices, principles, and struggles of others can sharpen your resolve and accelerate your growth. Role models bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. They serve as living proof that discipline, consistency, and integrity lead to meaningful outcomes. By studying their habits, mindset, and decision-making, you gain insights that can transform your own approach to challenges. Role models don't just inspire, they teach through example, showing how values are lived out in real-world situations. Stoic philosophers such as Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca exemplify what it means to live with discipline and purpose. Marcus Aurelius, despite being an emperor with immense responsibilities, practiced humility and self-control. His meditations reveal a mind constantly reflecting on how to stay true to his values amidst pressure. From him, you can learn the importance of maintaining focus and balance, even in demanding circumstances. Epictetus, born into slavery, demonstrates the power of perspective. He believed that while external circumstances are beyond your control, your thoughts and actions are not. This principle guided him to rise above his hardships and become one of the most respected Stoic teachers. His life illustrates how discipline begins with mastering your inner world, regardless of external limitations. Seneca's writings show the value of preparing for adversity. He often advised practicing voluntary discomfort, such as fasting or living simply, to strengthen resilience. From Seneca, you learn that discipline isn't just about enduring challenges. It's about preparing for them with foresight and intention. His example underscores the idea that small, deliberate acts of self-discipline build a foundation of strength for larger trials. Modern figures of discipline also provide powerful lessons. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders often embody the principles of perseverance, focus, and accountability. Someone like David Goggins, known for his incredible mental toughness, demonstrates the importance of pushing beyond perceived limits. His philosophy of embracing discomfort and refusing to settle for mediocrity inspires action and resilience. By studying his methods, you can learn how to silence self-doubt and maintain momentum even in the face of fatigue. Elon Musk, a relentless innovator, shows how unwavering focus on long-term goals drives progress. His ability to juggle multiple groundbreaking projects while maintaining a clear vision illustrates the power of prioritization and resilience. From him, you can learn how to break down big goals into actionable steps and persist through setbacks with a sense of purpose. Role models also reveal the importance of consistency. Whether it's Marcus Aurelius journaling daily, Goggins running for hours to build mental toughness, or a teacher mastering their craft through decades of dedication, their lives demonstrate that greatness isn't achieved through sporadic effort. It's the product of showing up every day, no matter how small the progress may feel. Learning from a role model doesn't mean copying them blindly. It's about adapting their principles to your unique circumstances. What works for one person may not work for another, but the underlying values, discipline, focus, and resilience are universal. By observing how they navigate challenges, you gain tools to apply in your own life, tailoring them to your goals and needs. Role models also teach humility. Great leaders and thinkers rarely claim to have all the answers. Instead, they commit to continuous learning, often drawing inspiration from their own mentors. This cycle of learning and teaching shows that discipline isn't a static trait, but a skill honed over time. Emulating their openness to growth reminds you that progress is an ongoing journey. The presence of a role model helps you stay accountable. Knowing someone else has walked the path before you provides reassurance that challenges can be overcome. It also gives you a benchmark for evaluating your efforts. While you should never compare yourself in a way that undermines your self-worth, having a standard to strive toward can push you to do better. Role models also remind you of the importance of values. Whether it's the Stoic emphasis on virtue or the modern commitment to excellence, their lives are rooted in principles that guide their actions. Reflecting on their values encourages you to clarify your own, ensuring that your discipline aligns with what truly matters to you. This alignment creates a deeper sense of purpose, making your efforts feel more meaningful. Role models don't need to be famous figures. Sometimes the most profound lessons come from those closest to you, a mentor, family member, or friend who embodies qualities you admire. Their influence may be quieter, but no less impactful. Observing how they handle challenges or approach life with integrity can inspire you to do the same. These personal connections often make the lessons more relatable and actionable. The process of adopting a role model also strengthens your self-awareness. As you study their traits and habits, you naturally reflect on your own. This comparison isn't about feeling inadequate, but about identifying areas for growth. By recognizing what resonates with you and what doesn't, you refine your understanding of who you are and who you want to become. Role models challenge you to confront your excuses. When you see someone who has achieved greatness despite significant obstacles, it becomes harder to justify complacency. Their example pushes you to take ownership of your actions and commit to your goals with renewed determination. This accountability is a powerful motivator, reminding you that progress is always within your reach. Adopting a role model also fosters gratitude. As you study their journey, you gain a deeper appreciation for the opportunities and resources in your own life. This gratitude fuels your motivation, encouraging you to make the most of what you have. It also keeps you grounded, reminding you that success is not achieved in isolation, but often with the support and guidance of others. Role models teach the value of resilience through their struggles. No great achievement is free from setbacks, and seeing how they overcome challenges inspires you to face your own with courage. Their stories remind you that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone toward growth. This perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities, helping you approach difficulties with a sense of purpose. Drawing inspiration from disciplined individuals expands your vision of what's possible. It encourages you to dream bigger and aim higher, knowing that others have walked similar paths. Their successes provide proof that hard work and commitment lead to meaningful results. This belief strengthens your resolve, motivating you to push through doubts and keep striving for your goals. Learning from role models also builds resilience in the face of criticism. Many of the figures you admire have faced doubt, rejection, or opposition, yet they persisted. Their example teaches you to value your own judgment and stay committed to your vision, even when others don't understand it. This resilience keeps you focused on your goals, allowing you to rise above negativity and remain true to your path. Adopting a role model is not about idolization, it's about learning. Their lives serve as a mirror, reflecting both the challenges and rewards of discipline. By observing their journey, you gain insights that can guide your own, helping you navigate setbacks, celebrate progress, and stay connected to your purpose. Each lesson they offer becomes a tool, equipping you to build a life of meaning and fulfillment. Through their example, you discover that discipline is not about perfection, but about persistence. It's about showing up, adapting, and staying committed to your values, even when the path is difficult. Role models illuminate this truth, reminding you that growth is always possible, as long as you're willing to learn and take the next step forward. Role models inspire by showing what is possible, but the voice that speaks to you most often is your own. This inner dialogue shapes how you perceive challenges, respond to setbacks, and approach your goals. It can either lift you toward discipline and focus, or pull you down with doubt and excuses. Controlling this internal conversation is one of the most powerful tools for building resilience and achieving lasting growth. By transforming self-talk, you create a mental environment that empowers action and strengthens your resolve. Your thoughts are the foundation of your behavior. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes the narrative that guides your actions. When that narrative is filled with self-doubt, procrastination, or defeat, it reinforces patterns that hold you back. On the other hand, when your inner dialogue is constructive and encouraging, it fuels motivation and discipline. Controlling your self-talk begins with awareness. Recognizing the tone and content of your thoughts is the first step toward change. Negative self-talk often disguises itself as logic or realism, but its impact can be deeply limiting. Phrases like, "I'll never be able to do this," or "This is just how I am," create mental roadblocks that discourage effort. By identifying these limiting beliefs, you open the door to replacing them with language that supports growth. Instead of saying, "I can't," try asking, "How can I?" This subtle shift turns a closed mindset into an open one, encouraging problem-solving rather than resignation. Empowering self-talk requires intention. It's not about ignoring challenges or sugarcoating reality. It's about choosing words that keep you focused on solutions and progress. For example, when faced with a setback, replacing "I failed" with "I learned something important" redefines the experience. This reframing fosters resilience and keeps you moving forward. It's a practice of shaping your narrative in a way that aligns with your goals and values. Your inner dialogue also affects how you perceive discomfort. When you tell yourself that something is too hard or unbearable, you magnify the challenge. But when you remind yourself of your strength and capability, you reframe discomfort as a stepping stone toward growth. Telling yourself, "This is tough, but I can handle it," shifts your focus from the difficulty to your ability to overcome it. This perspective builds mental toughness and strengthens your commitment to discipline. Consistency in your self-talk reinforces discipline. The more often you replace excuses with empowering language, the more natural it becomes. Over time, positive self-talk shapes your default response to challenges. Instead of automatically doubting yourself, you begin to approach obstacles with confidence and determination. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, it becomes a defining aspect of your mindset. Your inner dialogue also influences your emotional state. Negative self-talk often triggers feelings of frustration, fear, or inadequacy, which can spiral into inaction. Positive self-talk, on the other hand, fosters optimism and motivation. When you tell yourself, "I'm making progress, even if it's slow," you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's improving. This shift creates momentum, encouraging you to stay consistent and committed. Transforming self-talk requires self-compassion. It's easy to be your harshest critic, especially when you fall short of your expectations. But beating yourself up only reinforces negative patterns. Instead, approach yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Acknowledge your efforts and remind yourself that setbacks are part of growth. This compassionate self-talk builds resilience and keeps you motivated, even in challenging moments. Your choice of words matters. Even subtle changes in language can have a profound impact on your mindset. For instance, replacing "I have to" with "I get to" turns a task from a burden into an opportunity. Saying "I'm working on it" instead of "I'm not good at this" emphasizes progress rather than limitations. These small adjustments create a mindset that focuses on effort and potential, empowering you to take meaningful action. Positive self-talk doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means approaching it with strength and clarity. When you acknowledge challenges while affirming your ability to face them, you create a balanced narrative that motivates action. Telling yourself, "This is hard, but I've overcome similar challenges before," combines honesty with encouragement. It reinforces your belief in your resilience while keeping you grounded in the present. Your inner dialogue also shapes how you respond to criticism. Negative self-talk often amplifies the sting of critical feedback, turning it into a source of doubt or shame. But when you approach criticism with constructive self-talk, you turn it into an opportunity for growth. Telling yourself, "This feedback is an opportunity to improve," helps you extract value from the experience without letting it undermine your confidence. This mindset keeps you focused on progress rather than perfection. Self-talk can be a powerful tool for visualization. When you speak to yourself in terms of possibilities and goals, you create a mental image of success. Telling yourself, "I'm capable of achieving this," or "I'm working toward my goal every day," reinforces a vision of progress. This mental rehearsal strengthens your resolve, making it easier to translate your intentions into actions. Your internal dialogue also affects how you approach long-term goals. Negative self-talk often fixates on the distance between where you are and where you want to be, creating a sense of overwhelm. Positive self-talk, on the other hand, focuses on the next step. Telling yourself, "I just need to take one small action today," breaks the goal into manageable pieces, keeping you engaged and motivated. The practice of controlling self-talk builds emotional resilience. Life is filled with uncertainties and setbacks, and your inner dialogue determines how you navigate them. When you remind yourself, "I've faced challenges before and I can handle this too," you anchor yourself in your past successes. This perspective creates a sense of stability, allowing you to approach difficulties with calm and confidence. Transforming self-talk also deepens self-awareness. By paying attention to your internal dialogue, you become more attuned to your thoughts, beliefs, and patterns. This awareness helps you identify triggers for negative self-talk and replace them with empowering alternatives. It also strengthens your connection to your values, as your self-talk becomes a reflection of the person you strive to be. Your choice of self-talk influences your relationships as well. When you speak to yourself with kindness and confidence, it becomes easier to extend the same qualities to others. This shift creates a ripple effect, improving communication and deepening connections. It also helps you set boundaries, as a strong inner dialogue reinforces your sense of self-worth and clarity about what you will and won't accept. Positive self-talk also enhances your ability to persevere through setbacks. When things don't go as planned, it's natural to feel discouraged. But reminding yourself, "This is a setback, not a failure," keeps you focused on the bigger picture. This mindset encourages you to keep trying, even when progress feels slow or uncertain. It reinforces the belief that every effort, no matter how small, contributes to your growth. Your inner dialogue can also be a source of celebration. Recognizing your achievements, no matter how minor, creates a sense of momentum. Telling yourself, "I did well today," or "I'm proud of my effort," reinforces positive patterns and motivates you to keep going. This habit of acknowledging your progress builds confidence and fosters a sense of fulfillment. The practice of controlling self-talk requires consistency. Like any skill, it takes time and effort to develop. But each small step reinforces the habit, creating a cycle of growth and empowerment. Over time, positive self-talk becomes second nature, shaping your mindset and actions in profound ways. It becomes a tool that supports you in every aspect of life, from overcoming challenges to achieving your goals. By transforming your inner dialogue, you take control of the narrative that shapes your life. You replace doubt with belief, hesitation with action, and excuses with determination. This shift doesn't just strengthen your discipline, it transforms how you see yourself and what you're capable of achieving. With practice, your self-talk becomes a source of strength, guiding you toward a life of purpose and resilience. Shaping your inner dialogue builds the mental resilience to push forward, but even the strongest mind needs time to recover and recharge. Rest is not the absence of discipline, it is a vital component of it. Purposeful rest is not about laziness or indulgence, it is a strategic choice to maintain balance, preserve focus, and sustain long-term growth. Without rest, even the most disciplined efforts can lead to burnout, draining your energy and creativity. Embracing rest as a deliberate practice ensures that your efforts remain steady, impactful, and fulfilling. Rest begins with permission, the understanding that pausing is not weakness, but wisdom. Many people equate rest with a lack of productivity, but this mindset often leads to exhaustion. True discipline includes knowing when to step back to maintain clarity and endurance. Purposeful rest allows your body and mind to recover, creating the foundation for sustained effort. By respecting rest, you honor your limits and prepare for future challenges with renewed strength. Aligning rest with discipline involves intentionality. Rest is most effective when it is planned and purposeful, rather than haphazard or reactive. Scheduled breaks, downtime, and periods of recovery help prevent fatigue before it takes hold. This proactive approach ensures that rest supports your goals rather than interrupting them. Purposeful rest becomes a tool for growth, allowing you to recharge and refocus without losing momentum. Rest enhances focus by giving your mind the space it needs to process and reflect. Constant activity can cloud your thinking, making it harder to prioritize and solve problems. When you pause, your mind has the opportunity to reset, leading to sharper insights and better decision-making. This mental clarity enhances your ability to stay disciplined as your thoughts become more aligned with your intentions. Creativity thrives in moments of rest. When you step away from tasks, your brain continues to process information in the background. This phenomenon, often called the incubation effect, leads to breakthroughs and fresh ideas. Purposeful rest creates the conditions for creativity to flourish, allowing you to approach challenges with new perspectives. By integrating rest into your routine, you nurture the creativity that drives innovation and problem-solving. Physical rest is just as important as mental rest. Overworking your body without adequate recovery can lead to fatigue, injury, and diminished performance. Purposeful physical rest involves activities that promote relaxation and restoration, such as stretching, gentle movement, or sleep. Prioritizing rest for your body ensures that you have the energy and endurance to stay disciplined in the long term. Sleep is the cornerstone of purposeful rest. It is during sleep that your body repairs itself, your mind consolidates memories, and your energy is replenished. Chronic sleep deprivation erodes focus, creativity, and resilience, making it harder to stay disciplined. Prioritizing quality sleep is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Establishing a consistent sleep routine, minimizing disruptions, and creating a restful environment are key steps to ensuring restorative rest. Mindful rest is another powerful practice. This involves being fully present during periods of downtime, rather than allowing your mind to wander into stress or worry. Mindful rest can take the form of meditation, deep breathing, or simply enjoying a quiet moment without distractions. By practicing mindfulness, you enhance the restorative effects of rest, leaving you more refreshed and focused. Rest also plays a crucial role in emotional regulation. Fatigue often amplifies stress, frustration, and irritability, making it harder to respond thoughtfully to challenges. Purposeful rest restores your emotional balance, allowing you to approach difficulties with calm and composure. This emotional resilience strengthens your discipline, as you are less likely to be derailed by reactive emotions. Balancing rest and activity requires self-awareness. Knowing when to push forward and when to pause is a skill that grows with practice. Paying attention to your energy levels, mood, and performance helps you recognize the signs of fatigue before they become overwhelming. This awareness allows you to integrate rest into your routine in a way that supports your goals rather than disrupting them. Purposeful rest fosters a sense of sustainability. Discipline is not about short bursts of effort, but about consistent, long-term progress. Rest ensures that you can maintain your efforts over time without burning out. It allows you to approach each day with energy and focus, creating a steady rhythm of work and recovery that supports continuous growth. Rest is also a form of self-respect. Taking the time to recharge demonstrates that you value your well-being as much as your achievements. This balance creates a healthier relationship with discipline, where effort is driven by purpose rather than pressure. Rest becomes an act of self-care that reinforces your commitment to living a balanced and intentional life. Purposeful rest strengthens relationships. When you are well rested, you have more energy and patience to connect with others. Rest also creates opportunities for shared experiences, such as spending time with loved ones or enjoying leisure activities together. These moments of connection enrich your life and provide a sense of support that enhances your resilience. Rest cultivates gratitude. Pausing to rest allows you to reflect on your progress, appreciate your efforts, and recognize the resources that support you. This gratitude fuels motivation, reminding you of the value of your journey and the importance of maintaining balance. By embracing rest, you create space to acknowledge and celebrate the present, even as you work toward future goals. Rest can be an opportunity for reflection and recalibration. During periods of downtime, you have the chance to step back and evaluate your priorities, strategies, and progress. This perspective helps you identify what is working and what needs adjustment, ensuring that your efforts remain aligned with your goals. Rest becomes a tool for refining your approach, keeping you on track and focused. Rest enhances your ability to handle stress. Chronic stress without adequate recovery can lead to burnout, diminishing your capacity for discipline. Purposeful rest breaks the cycle of stress, allowing your mind and body to reset. This restoration strengthens your resilience, enabling you to approach challenges with greater ease and confidence. Integrating rest into your routine requires boundaries. It's easy to let work, responsibilities, or distractions encroach on your downtime. Setting clear boundaries around rest ensures that it remains a priority. This might mean turning off notifications, saying no to additional commitments, or creating designated periods of rest in your schedule. These boundaries protect your energy and support your long-term well-being. Rest is not a one-size-fits-all practice. What restores one person might not work for another. Exploring different forms of rest, whether it's a walk in nature, reading a book, or simply sitting quietly, helps you discover what works best for you. Tailoring rest to your preferences and needs makes it more effective and enjoyable, ensuring that it becomes a sustainable part of your routine. Rest teaches you to embrace stillness. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, taking time to pause can feel counterintuitive. But stillness is where clarity and insight often emerge. By allowing yourself to rest, you create the space to reconnect with your values, intentions, and purpose. This connection deepens your discipline as your efforts become more focused and meaningful. Purposeful rest also enhances your physical health. Chronic overwork can weaken your immune system, increase stress hormones, and lead to health issues. Rest allows your body to recover and restore balance, reducing the risk of illness and promoting overall well-being. A healthy body supports a disciplined mind, creating a strong foundation for growth. Rest fosters creativity by creating mental space for new ideas to emerge. When you step away from tasks and allow your mind to wander, you often discover solutions or insights that weren't apparent before. Purposeful rest nurtures this creative process, ensuring that your efforts remain innovative and inspired. Embracing rest requires a shift in mindset. It's about viewing rest not as a break from discipline, but as an integral part of it. This perspective encourages you to see rest as a tool for growth, balance, and resilience. By aligning rest with your goals, you create a sustainable approach to discipline that supports your well-being and success. Purposeful rest is the foundation of long-term endurance. It's not about doing less, it's about doing better. By respecting your need for recovery, you ensure that your efforts remain consistent, focused, and impactful. Rest becomes a source of strength, fueling your journey toward a life of discipline, creativity, and fulfillment. Rest nurtures the strength needed to move forward, but how you use each moment determines the trajectory of your growth. While planning for the future and reflecting on the past have their place, the present is where action happens. The Stoics understood this deeply, emphasizing the importance of grounding oneself in the now to fully engage with life. Mindfulness is not merely a buzzword. It is a powerful discipline that sharpens focus, enhances clarity, and maximizes productivity. When you learn to anchor your thoughts in the present, you unlock the ability to approach each task with intention and purpose. Living in the present moment begins with awareness. Often, the mind drifts into worry about what's ahead or regret over what's behind. This habit splits your attention, diminishing your ability to engage fully with what's in front of you. Mindfulness is the practice of redirecting your focus to the here and now, cultivating a state of calm alertness. This intentional presence allows you to give your best effort to each task, ensuring that your actions align with your goals. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to focus on the task at hand, seeing it as the most important thing in the world. This perspective helps eliminate distractions as you prioritize what truly matters in the moment. By committing fully to each action, you not only increase your effectiveness, but also cultivate a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. The key is to approach each task with purpose, viewing it as an opportunity to practice discipline and excellence.